Good evening, everybody. This is Adam, South End Guy Paranormal Channel, as you know and love. This is a piece of bonus material I promised earlier in the week, talking about the Ace Cafe and how it will be affected by ULEZ and its history. So to give you a brief history, this is taken from the Ace Cafe's own website. In 1938 was when the Ace Cafe establishment was originally built, and it was sitting on the then brand new North Circular surrounding London. It was a simple roadside cafe catering to travellers and particular truckers. With its proximity to Britain's fast arterial road network and being open 24 hours, the Ace Cafe soon attracted motorcyclists too. In 1940, it was hit and demolished in an air raid, and as such remained closed until 1949. It was reopened in temporary accommodation and subsequently rebuilt in 1949. 20 years later, in 1969, it closed its doors. Changes in the social order, the growth of the car market at the expense of the motorcycle industry, and the expansion of the motorway network saw the Ace Cafe serving its last egg and chips in '69. So we then move forward to 1994, where there was a reunion, which was a brainchild of Mark Willsmore, who's now owner. And I've personally met Mark a couple of times over my dealings on the South End Shakedown. He's a great guy. He's very down to earth. He's a proper biker. There's no two ways to describe him, really. So, yeah, just saying, 1994, the Ace Cafe reunion started to mark the 25th anniversary of the cafe's closure. That was Sunday, the 4th of September 94. Moving forward to 97, a part of the original cafe opened. They got planning permission and basically bought the original Ace Cafe site. And as of December the 7th, 97, a part of the original and legendary Ace Cafe site was reopened on Friday, Saturday, Sundays, bank holidays, and on the first Wednesday of every month. Moving forward to 2001, it had its grand reopening, and the place was basically fully opened again. Since then, the Ace Cafe brand has gone from strength to strength. They have Ace Cafes in other parts of the world as well. They've done really astonishingly well. Now, the Ace Cafe, although it is synonymous with bikes, they have several meetings during the week and weekend, either for bike clubs or different makes of bikes, different types of bikes. You could have an adventure bike night or adventure bike Sunday, for example. Anyone with an adventure bike like myself, I have my Africa Twin, it will be a day for them. Likewise, there's a Triumph Day or a two-stroke day. These things go on week in, week out. And it is a great meeting place, said, for bikes. Not only do they have meeting there were also runs as well. Obviously the South End Shakedown and how I got involved with it. The Ace Cafe still does runs to Margate and Brighton. And they're great days as well. I've been on several of their runs, and it is such a good day. Bikes aside, they also do car meets. They're held again during different evenings in the week and on the weekend. And it can be anything from hot rods to Norse nights, which is Volvo and Saab, for example. And as you know, I have quite a soft spot for Saabs. So that's the history, that's the activity of the site. As I say, it's one of the most well-known sites connected with the automotive world and history. Anyone will know this place. Now, the issue we've now got with ULEZ is how are they going to carry on as busy as they are, or as busy as they have been, with the ULEZ expansion. Now, whilst there's a lot of historic vehicle meets there, where obviously historical vehicles, so at present, this is 2023, so anything of 1983 and older are exempt from ULEZ. So that section of vehicles, be it car or motorcycle, are exempt. So their meets are fine. And with motorcycles of 2007 and newer, because they're ULEZ compliant, obviously they're okay. Cars, petrol, generally of 2001 and newer, generally, although officially 2003, 2004 are also compliant, generally. Diesel, again, anything prior 83 will be exempt through the historic, and anything newer than 2014, 2015 will also be compliant. Okay, so those are the vehicles that will be able to access the ACE with no problem, with no charge. The problem being is that all those vehicles that don't comply, so let's say for example bikes, now as I said there's a Triumph Day there. My Triumph is a Thunderbird from 1995, it's 28 years old, so it neither falls into the historic category nor the compliant category. I have to prove to TfL that my bike's compliant by paying £170 to get it tested. So for those of us that ride motorcycles that are in that bracket between 83 and 2007, if we want to go to the ACE Cafe, unless we get a vehicle tested at £170 to prove our vehicles are compliant, to go to the ACE it would cost us £12.50. And if we went there for a late evening and didn't come away till midnight, we would then have to pay again to come out. So a long night at the ACE Cafe could cost you £25. And it's the same with cars. Now, whilst I say that the historic vehicles are fine and later vehicles are fine, there's a massive section between that which does not comply. Now, I spoke about the Norse night. I have two Saabs. I've got my 20-year-old estate and I've got my 22-year-old Saab 9.3 convertible. The Saab 9.3, believe it or not, is actually compliant. It meets the nitrous oxide emission guideline. It more than meets it, it's way under. But my Saab estate is a 20-year-old diesel. It doesn't have a hope in hell of complying. If I want to drive my estate in, that's going to cost me £12.50. So if you can imagine all those vehicles that currently visit the ACE for the respective special nights will now have to pay £12.50 to go and see that site. How many people aren't going to bother? How much is this going to affect this place? It just beggars belief. And Sadiq Khan cares not one jot about this. He doesn't give a monkey's or stuff about businesses and automotive history and all that. He's putting his plan through no matter what, despite the opposition and all the rest of it. So that's where we are. How bad is the ACE going to be affected by Khan's ULEZ expansion? I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and do what you can to not comply with this little tit turd. Thanks again. Love and light. God bless you. Bye bye.